In this video, we'll be working on a walk cycle. This is a follow-up to my previous video about creating a character rig inside of Friction Graphics. So in this video, we'll be looking at the walk cycle and a few extra examples. Now, this is a very stylized character with a very simplified rig, you could say. So this will be a stylized walk cycle. Now, since we're talking about a walk cycle and some character animation, I feel it's right to mention the Animator Survival Kit. In this, you'll find so much about animation, and in particular, you'll learn about walk cycles. So what we're going to be working on today. And we'll be using this simple layout here where we have a contact pose, a down, a pass pose, up, and then another contact pose. Now for the down and up, because of how stylized our character is, this is going to be an illusion of down and up, well, so to speak. There. Anyways, let's just jump into Friction and we'll see how it's gonna go. Now, these are just a few of the different walk cycle styles that I worked on for this video. We'll go with the basic one and then I'll show you how easy it was to customize the walk cycle. So first things first, inside of this group, I'll grab everything and reset the position. Okay, so we can get started. Now for the timeline, I have it set, well, filtering for the target group or the current group, which means here we can see all of the different papayas that I have in the scene. So let's see here. All of these are different papayas and they all have their nulls in their animation. Now I only want to see the nulls of this papaya over here. So if I double click on it, I'm now inside of the group, and because of the filter current group, we only see what is inside of the current group. I'll double click on the group of the controls, so now I only see the controls. Okay, let's start by creating our animation. So the first thing I'll do is determine how long I want it to be, and I'll start with 30 frames. So it's going to be 1 second for the step. That might actually feel a bit slow, but we can always modify the duration of it afterwards. So for this, I'll press O on the keyboard. It's going to set an out point. I'll jump back to the first frame and I'll press I. To jump back to the first frame, I held down Shift and I pressed the left arrow. So on the first keyframe over in properties here, I will expand the papaya controls and I'm going to look for both leg tops. So over here, we have the leg top left. Inside of transforms, I'm going to keyframe the rotation. I'll do the same thing for the other top. So this one over here. Go inside of transform and keyframe rotation. Want to do the same thing for the bottom. So basically I'm just adding the initial keyframe for each one of these body parts. So rotation, and I think I'll move the feet as well just to have it land on the heel and add a bit more motion, a bit more life to the character. One last foot. Now we will animate the arms, but I'll do the arms after, or we can do it all together. All right. So we'll focus on the legs and then we'll do the arms and then we'll look at the torso. So I'll go back inside of the filters and now I'm going to filter the state from all to animated. There we go. Now it's neatly presented where we only see the animated body parts and we're only seeing what's inside of the active group. So on the first keyframe, I'm going to do the contact pose. Okay. If you remember from the Animator Survival Kit, our contact pose is just this relaxed pose in between when you're kind of shifting from one foot to the other. As I said, we're going to give the illusion of the up and down, so hip movement, although it could be useful for some of these over here. So, okay. So I'll jump over to frame 15 and I'm going to create the opposite effect. So basically cross the legs in the opposite direction. So the inverse of the contact pose that we just did. So such. All right. So if I were to play back, we get this little swing motion. We can take all of the first keyframes, press Shift D to duplicate, but it duplicates and allows you to move it around. And then I'll just place this on the out. Okay, let's activate. I'll turn on loop, play back. All right. So now in between the middle keyframe over here in the first keyframes, so frame 7, I'm going to create the passing pose. So as this back leg on the right is coming back, we're simply going to modify the trajectory a bit, shift it upwards, the heel back as such. And for this other leg here, so the left leg in this case, I'm simply going to do some minor adjustments as such. Okay. And now let's go to frame, let's say 22 or 21. I'll go with 22 and we'll do the opposite. So now the left leg is the one that's going to be the pass pose. Okay. Less bent as such. Now, in order to avoid having this contact pose repeat twice, because we're ending the animation here on it, I'm going to move one frame before this last frame, so on frame 29, and I'll set the out point over there instead. And now it should be a lot smoother. Okay, now of course later on we can adjust the motion, the flow of it using the curves. So the bent leg would stay bent for a little longer. We can have a bit of a swing or, ease in, ease out. But we're going at this step by step. Now we can do the arms or we can do the torso. Let's do the torso and then we'll do the arms. I'll press escape to exit out of this. If you've watched the previous video, and this is where that the ability to be able to move the nulls becomes very useful, because having them overlap can get confusing. And if you have two characters interacting, their nulls overlap with each other, it can also get pretty confusing, even when you have them color-coded. So yeah, just a quick parentheses. Anyways, let's get back to it. So I'll grab the torso. Now, before I do anything with the torso here, I'm going to change the looks of it to a triangle and change the color so it's different, stands out a bit more. So for the torso, it won't be rotation. What we're going to add a keyframe to is the Y translation, so up and down. Now you can do the rotation, you can do pretty much anything, but I'm just saying for this over here, that's what we're going to do. So we have it at this neutral position here on the first and last frames, okay? So now with the torso, we're going to simulate this up and down motion. So between the contact pose and the pass pose, we have a down motion. And after the pass pose, it goes up and then contact again at that base level. So about 5 frames later, I'm going to drag down the torso. And I'll just grab this one, I'll duplicate it, and I'll move it around 5 frames later over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if we play back, now just remember that we can use the curves later on to smoothen out the motion of things. But already we're getting that little walk cycle with the bounce. Now we can animate the arms. I'll just add the keyframes for the arms. So I'll add a keyframe to the rotation of the arm top and the arm bot. Rotation, where we have arm over here. Okay, so we have all of our keyframes. Now remember that the order of the nulls really depends on you, so you can rearrange them to have all of the arms somewhere, all of the legs somewhere, like however you're most comfortable with. Now when walking, your arms swing in the opposite direction of the leg that they accompany. So on the right side, when the right leg is forward, the right arm is in the back. So basically this is all we have to incorporate here. So in the very beginning, we're stepping onto the left leg in this case, which means that this arm in the back would be rotated backwards. Give it some bend. Even though we can't see it behind the body, we'll still do that. And we'll put this over here. Now this is where you kind of determine the energy or the style of walking, where it's like the swing of the arms of the legs too, but the arms can give it a bit of a feel. So now I'll duplicate this first gesture over to the end. So on the last keyframe, and in the middle here, I'm going to do the opposite swing. So the right arm goes backwards and the left arm goes forward. Okay, remember to save your projects as you move along. So let's play back and see how this looks. There you go. Now we can add an offset to the motion of the arms. We can do this with either using the curves or modifying the keyframes a bit. So before we start modifying the graph, I'll show you how just with this base, you can already start to modify the walk cycle or the style of it. So I'll double click outside to exit the group. I'll double click again. You can see how we have all of our other keyframes or animated properties here since we're outside of the group. What I'll do is I'll grab Papaya Comp 4, I'll press Ctrl D to duplicate, and I'll move it to the side over here. Okay, so now we have our Papaya Comp 5. I'll enter the group so that we can filter out just what we have animated and enter the nulls group. All right, so I'll start with the torso. Now with the torso, because we hadn't animated the rotation property, I can simply change it and it's just gonna stay changed. So if I move it as such, this is the new rotation of the torso. I'll grab the head, I'll rotate it forward, I'll grab the pupils control, no, not rotate, grab. Okay, the point mode, I'm going to modify the expression. Okay, exit that group, back inside of the nulls group. All right, so now we have our sad character. Okay, now that's just the face so far. Now what we can do is, for example, grab the arms and instead of having such a wide swing, we'll just have it be barely swung. Okay. So already with these small changes, we already have a much different tone for the walk cycle. Now, remember I mentioned that we could change the speed of the walk cycles, and this is simply by grabbing all of your keyframes, place the playhead where you want to scale from. So what we're going to do is scale. We're going to scale our keyframes or grab everything. And then if I press S on the keyboard with the timeline active, we can now scale the walk cycle. Now they're not going to be synchronized anymore because of the difference in the walk cycle. So over here, let's put this, the O, playback. So yeah. Okay, so now let's look at the curves or the graph and see how we can add a bit of easing to our motion. So I'll disable or turn off the Papaya Comp 5. I'll exit the group. Let's move it to the side. Okay. So back to Papaya Comp 4, and we'll fix the in and out points. Now for the graphs, what do we want? What do we really need here? So maybe the arms slow down when they're swinging upwards, but accelerate when they swing downwards. So we're looking for the arms. Let's go for the upper arm. So arm top, and where's the other one? We have arm top left. I'm going to click on the rotation with the arm top and then the rotation for the other arm, and I'll click on the graph. Now we can see the rotation or the graph for both arms. Let's zoom in here. So hold on Control and just scroll with the mouse. Okay, so here I could say that the arms would accelerate for this motion, slow down as it gets over here. So I'll just make all of these symmetrical. Left click, hold, press X, and I'll move it backwards. It's this. So it's a little slower, accelerates. I'll make these two middle keyframes here symmetric nodes. So let's click on symmetric. And now I can expand them a bit. So now there's a pause when the arms are upwards. We can actually recreate this by expanding either end or beginning, so one of the two. There we go. So that very same step we can now create with, let's say, the torso or the legs, right? So you just go around modifying the graph for each one of these. So let's click on torso. And for the torso, let's see, it could stay up a little longer. So the down could be a little snappy, and then the up is a little slower. So I'll make these symmetrical. I'm going to shrink the beginning one and leave the end one a little stretched out. Let's see how this looks. Nope, very much too harsh. Scale this down, make these two smooth. Let's see. I'll decrease when it's going back up. Increase it for when he's going down, so he kind of eases downward as well and shoots up. So I'll do the same thing over here. Shrink this a bit. Okay. There you go. So now there's that ease where it's a bit of a hop as he's walking. Okay. And yeah, so if we want, we can do this with the legs as well. So it could be, for example, if we want the bottom leg to stay bent a bit longer, the legs straighten a little fast at the moment. So let's just go back to the graph, click on one of the legs, and let's see. So these over here down, well, these two down here represent when the leg is bent as such. So if we just make these smooth, it stays up a little longer. Okay. Kind of looks like he's kicking dust a bit. So it shoots up. So for the motion of it going up, I'm going to reduce this one over here a bit. Okay. You can modify the graph until you get the flow that you want. And as you can see, we have multiple examples here of different walk cycles. In the end, you can use the master control. So the papaya master control over here inside of comp 4, we have the P master control, or it would be papaya, but yes. The master control would allow you to move your character forward as they walk. Now, this is a whole different trick in of itself, so I'll make a follow-up video to talk about that. In the meantime, I have a Ko-fi link down in the description for those of you who like to support the channel. You can click on this playlist over here to learn more about Friction, or this playlist to learn about Kdenlive. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.